someone asked me, what is the significance of this solar eclipse yesterday? And I said, to me, it means this, that you have these two celestial bodies. You have the sun, the eminence, the radiance of light, and you have the moon, which is a reflection of this radiance of light. And yesterday we had the superimposing of these two celestial bodies, where what was once a reflecting the light of the sun is now blocking it out. And I begin to think about the art of war, where Sun Tzu says, if you don't know yourself and you don't know your enemy, you will never win at anything. And he says, if you know yourself and you do not know your enemy, then sometimes you'll win and sometimes you'll lose. But he says, if you know yourself and you know your enemy, you will never fear the result of 100 battles. We all live in essentially two realities. We live in an inner reality and an external reality. And the first step in this life is to begin to know yourself. And as you begin to know yourself, then you become more sovereign. At first, we're used to we're looking for people to tell us what to do. We go to a job, they tell us what to do. School tells us what to do. Our parents start off telling us what to do. Religion, etc., etc. And the last person that tells ourselves what to do is our own inner voice. We don't listen to our inner voice. We don't trust it for whatever reasons. So we don't listen to it. And so instead we listen to everything outside of us. And so therefore we are basically reflecting our outer reality and internalizing it, when really we are each the divine center of operation, because wherever you are in this cosmos, in this universe, that's the center. How is that so? Well, it's because the universe is infinite. So wherever you are is the center. So the first step is to know yourself. And we sort of have that idea in our culture. But no one really has the idea of what is the enemy. Because don't fool yourself, we're all fighting something. We all have a war to fight. And we all have battles to wage. And most of that struggle is an internal thing. And so we have to define, well, what is the enemy? And it could be something different for every person. And I would hypothesize that perhaps that enemy is ignorance, or it's inaction. So you could say that the enemy is anything that is blocking out your own inner voice. And you have to know what that is for you. Because in our reality, just intention alone will not be enough. Intention is good. Like when we do a yoga practice, we set an intention. But then we don't just leave and go home. Like after that, we actually sweat and work and labor and toil and breathe and go through all of these postures to strengthen both mind and body. But the intention is the matrix that guides those efforts to a point. Like Seneca says, if you do not know where you're selling, no favorable wind can help you. But if you know where you're going, then when those winds come, they will serve you well, because you have a port. You have determined what you want. So that's the first thing, to know yourself. And by knowing yourself, you can clearly determine for yourself what it is that you want. And secondly, you can get on with the work. Thirdly, you know your enemy. You know or have an idea of what those obstacles will be, whether it's inactivity, whether it's ignorance, whether it's waging through fear, whatever it is, it's that you don't quit on yourself. And so it's an interesting thing that when what is reflected now blocks out that which is emanating, is shining, is radiating. It's that we have the same thing happen within us, that there are these ideas and these beliefs and these things that hold us back, and they're blocking out our own light. And so we have to decide, when are you gonna make up your mind to just go for it and to do it, to become it, and part of that becoming is doing. It's doing and not doing. In the Tao Te Ching, it says doing, not doing. That both are part of the path. So let your light shine. Get on with the work. Know yourself and know your enemy. Namaste.